Good morning. It is October 6th, my first day on the job. So let's see, it is 4:39 and I am about to leave the house. It was not as hectic. I got most everything done last night because I didn't want to be running around the house like a chicken with his head cut off. So I am about to pack up the car and head to the office. I decided I probably should try to get to the gym around 5:30 because I don't have to be to the office until 8 and the gym is like 7 minutes away from the office. So um, I can just leave. I figure, I don't want to be. So I made it to the gym and it's a chain, it's Crunch Gym. And man, this gym looks really nice from the outside. It looks a lot bigger than the gym close to my house. So, oh gosh. While I was driving here, I started thinking about my mom and, oh boy, okay. All right, let me get in here and get in this work. Good afternoon, people. And I apologize for the lighting. It is 5:32. I left the office at 4:30 and I should be home in about 6 minutes. Oh my gosh. Well, today was my first day back. Man, just a whole bunch of paperwork and trying to get onto systems, that type of stuff. But I do have tomorrow I will be going in at 6:30 and getting off at 3. So hopefully the traffic won't be as bad as it is at 4:30. But all in all, like I said before, I think working in an office and being around people will be good for me. It's been 5 years, 2 of those years, the whole 5 years basically, because I moved from Florida in February 2020, and 2 weeks later the whole world shut down. So I only worked in an office up there in the DC area for 2 weeks, and that was March 2020, and now I'm going back into the office as of today. So my move from Florida, it was just marred with all types of life stressors. I'm hoping that I can take a deep breath and just kind of chill for a little bit. That's what I'm hoping for. But everyone at the office, of course it's the first day, so people are nice. But I think everyone is pretty much gonna be pretty nice. So, and I've done this work before, so fortunately I don't have the stress of trying to learn something new. Now I will have to learn whatever has been updated, learn, that type of stuff. But the basis, the core of the work, I've done it. I did it for 3 years, and then I gained more knowledge when I moved to the DC area. So thank goodness I don't have to deal with that stress. So I am almost home. Did not mean to take you guys this close to where I live, but yeah, all in all, today was a good day. Tomorrow I'll go in at 6:30. So what I'm gonna do is go to the gym after work. I'm gonna do my cardio. I am gonna do my cardio before I leave the office, before I leave home. So I still plan to get up at 4 in the morning. So yes, see you guys tomorrow. Good morning. It is October 11th, Saturday, and I have been absolutely horrible at vlogging. This was my first week at work, and your girl is exhausted. And it's not from the work, because this week has just been like onboarding, getting access to systems and all that. It is the drive home. Fortunately, it is the drive home and not the drive to work. So I'm fighting traffic. It takes me about 40 minutes, a little less than 40 minutes to get to work, but the traffic is smooth. Coming home is another story. It's taken me a little over an hour to get home, guys. And I have been going to the gym after work because the first day I went before work because I had to be there. I had to report at 8 o'clock. So I went to the gym before work. But then they said I could come in early, so I've been going in at 6:30. So I've been going to the gym after work. But I don't know. Next week I may try going to the gym that's closer to the office. But I want to get as close to home as I possibly can after sitting in traffic for an hour is anyway. So I have not picked up my camera since the last time I picked up my camera. But I am here at Whole Foods. I'm gonna do some grocery shopping.
I don't buy a whole watermelon. I just pick up a couple of containers. And I think I bought these grapes because I wasn't feeling too well that day. You don't see it here, but I always buy at least 4 apples. And of course, I need my spinach for my morning eggs. I try to get as much green vegetables as I possibly can. And I am buying the Whole Foods tequila lime shrimp. They are the bomb. Also, I absolutely love my 5 minute steel cut oatmeal. The steel cut oatmeal is just so much thicker than regular oat rolled oats. And now for my Feihi yogurt that I actually put in my oatmeal. I'll do a little tutorial on that one day. And if you put milk in your oatmeal, putting yogurt in your oatmeal is no big deal. Makes it really creamy. I am checking the eggs to make sure none of them are cracked. And because I have a job, I decided to buy a carton of egg whites. Yes, your girl was feeling herself that day. Now, I'm not much of a wine drinker, so we're just gonna ride right by the wine and head straight to the bread. I absolutely love the San Francisco sourdough bread at Whole Foods. I actually got lucky one morning and the bread was sort of warm. I was really surprised. So of course I had to take a little piece off in the car. I'm not one of those people that eat grapes in the store or I don't you know I don't know about people who eat food while they're shopping, eating the food before they pay for it. But what you're going to see next is this bread cutter at Whole Foods. It kind of smushed up my bread. And I think the reason why is because I chose the thin slice. I should have just chosen the medium slice. But I thought that was pretty cool. And I'm getting my blueberries for my steel cut oatmeal and my peas for my rice and salmon peas bowl that I absolutely love. And for some reason, I always pick up a bottle of water for the ride back home because Whole Foods is not in my neighborhood. And here I am checking out and giving Whole Foods my first paycheck.
All right, so I do not spend a whole lot of time in the grocery store because I know what I want. I go in there, I get it. I don't have to go down every single aisle. And that's how I am about shopping, period. No matter where I go, I do not like spending a whole lot of time just browsing through stuff. I remember one time I went shopping with a friend, and this girl went down every single aisle at the grocery store. And I'm like, girl, nothing has changed. There is no need to go down every single aisle. Anyway, suffice it to say, I never went shopping with her again, ever. So that was my little shopping. I'll pick you guys up later. I don't think I'll be doing anything interesting today. I just want to go home and relax. I am exhausted. All right, so I am still at the grocery store. I am so upset because I did not have the mic on. When am I going to get good at this vlogging thing? Oh my goodness. So anyway, Whole Foods did not have my raspberry Danish, and I am very upset about that. Oh, so now I have to go to Starbucks. So I feel like I am trying to come down with something. My throat is a little bit scratchy. And I have like a little cough, nothing like super serious as far as a cough is concerned. But I'm kind of thinking that it's because I'm run down. I have to now get used to, it's been over 5 years since I worked in an office, and I have never, ever, ever in my working years had to deal with an hour commute. Fortunately, like I said before, it is going back home. So that way I'm not starting the day stressed out. I'm going home and I'm able to chill and relax. But I think I just got to get used to this again. And, being around people, the drive, I need to rest more. I don't know what it is, but I am going to get through this. I'm going to eat a few of these grapes and get back to my side of town.
Good morning. What can I get started for you?
Good morning. Can I get a venti cold brew with 1 pump of pecan syrup, um, 3 pumps of sugar-free vanilla syrup, and the pecan cream cold foam?
Yeah, anything.
Hi. Good. How are you? Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. Yep. You too. All right, guys. So you heard the order. Now let's see what it tastes like. Okay, it tastes okay. I need some of this cold foam to go down further. Good morning. So by the time you guys see this video, I would have been working since October 6th. And let me tell you, it has definitely been a huge adjustment. That Friday, my first week in the office, that Friday, I was so exhausted, like just beyond exhausted. I ended up getting sick. I know I said I was not going to do a get ready with me, which I'm not, because I am just going to put on a little mascara and a little bit of lipstick and call it a day. Getting to work is less than 40 minutes, but coming home, oh my goodness, it is at least an hour, and maybe some days a little over an hour. And that is just crazy to me. And I live in Florida and it is so hot. I have my AC blasting in order to not sweat while I am driving home. The first day of work, I went to the gym that morning. The first day of work, they offered me an earlier shift. So I get to work at 6:30, and I decided I would do cardio at home before work. So I'm getting up at 4 o'clock, which is basically the same time I was getting up when I was working remotely. I'm looking at my watch to make sure I won't be late. So I was already getting up at 4 when I was working remotely because I was going to the gym in the morning and I was doing my whole routine. I was training with weights and doing my cardio in the morning, and then I would come home and work. So now that I'm working in an office, I'm getting up at 4 o'clock, doing my cardio here at home, and doing my training with weights at the gym after work, which I'm not too crazy about because the gym is a little bit crowded around 4 o'clock, and it's one of those chain gyms. I'm going to check out another gym that's not Crunch, that's also close to the office. I'm going to check them out because that gym may have more of the equipment that I'm looking for, because I plan to do another bodybuilding show next year. Hopefully there will be no more major life changes and I can get in another bodybuilding show. And you know what? How do people put on makeup and talk at the same time? So the worst part has been coming home after work every day. And that is a pain
in the butt. But you know what? That can be a pain in the butt, but it's better than the alternative. And the alternative is being unemployed. So yeah, so just getting back into going into the office. And another thing is, I get home from the gym and, it takes time for the body to just sort of to wind down, to relax and, get ready to go to sleep. And I like to try to get at least 8 hours of sleep. 7 hours is good, but I aim for 8 hours of sleep. And it does take the body time to, to just get into a more restorative state, and especially after being in traffic for an hour, training with weights, dealing with just a little bit of traffic in the gym home, and getting here, getting everything ready for the next day. Calling my grandmother to check on her and have a conversation with her, because now we don't get to talk as much as we did while I was unemployed. I could sneak in phone calls to her and check on her while I was, working remotely. So all of that has changed, and just trying to keep her spirits high, because once people, like people when they get really old, my grandmother, she's in her 90s, we have to keep in touch with them. We have to make sure that they are not lonely. One reason why I moved back to Florida was with the intention of her moving to Tampa with me. She's in Miami, and she's been in her neighborhood for over 50 years. So all the experts, and not just the experts, but friends, have said do not force her to move, because once that happens and she's out of her element, depression and then death soon to follow. So I'm not pressuring her to move from Miami to Tampa, but just trying to make sure that I keep in touch with her, that she has someone to talk to, because all of her friends, all of her original friends that she had when she moved to Miami, like all the friends that she had for 30, 40, 50 years, they've all died. So the good thing is, though, she's been in that neighborhood for over 50 years. She has her little walking group now, and so that's good. Here, she moved here to Tampa with me. The neighborhood is completely different. She wouldn't have her neighbors, and her neighbors check on her. You guys know, look, I don't know how it is in other communities, but in our community, the elderly are held in high esteem, and we do look out for our elderly, even if they are not blood related. And that is what's happening with my grandmother. Thank the Lord. So let me hurry up. I will check back in with you guys a little later, because I want to discuss something that the pastor had preached one time, and this is why I just cannot get into the whole 100% dive into Christianity, because the pastor had preached about being tired. This was after my first week in the office, and I was exhausted. I was coming down with something. My body was fighting something, and that's why I was so tired. And I went to church that Sunday, and one of the church members asked me how I was doing. And I said I was tired. She's like, "Oh no, you're not tired. The pastor just preached. We can't be tired." Anyway, we are going to discuss that, because that is one reason why I cannot. I go for the community and I do go for the word, but I cannot take everything literally. We'll talk about it.
Hello, guys. So I did a little going back to work haul. As you know, I've mentioned several times that I worked remotely for 5 years, and during those 5 years, I did not buy any office attire. I worked in athleisure wear because I was home. When I moved from Maryland back to Florida, I donated like 99% of my work clothes and 99% of my office shoes. So I went to the mall today, and I'm just gonna share with you some of the things that I purchased. And we'll start off with shoes. Now, when I was a little younger, I wore heels all the time, but I am older now and I am looking for comfort. So heels are out of the question. Well, I won't say out of the question. A small little pump, maybe. And I still need to find something that I like. But I bought these shoes here. I think these are pretty cute and stylish, and they're perfect because at my office, although I sit at a desk, for a job where I'm sitting a lot, I also am moving a lot because I deal with the public and we have to bring the public to our office. We pick up the person and we bring them to our office. So those are the shoes. I bought a pair of pants from Lululemon, work pants. And can you see these? Oh boy. And I have the camera following me, so, but yeah. So yeah, these are very comfortable. This is like my third or fourth pair of these pants. And I bought a shirt to go with it. Nothing too fancy, you know, just a normal shirt. And this is from Lululemon also. And this is the whole tight long sleeve. And this is the third, well, I don't know what number video this will be, but my channel is brand new. I am not sponsored by anyone. And so of course, while I was in Lululemon, I bought this small towel, some micro fiber towel. And if you've seen any of my videos, then you know that I work out, I train, and I sweat a lot. So this will be perfect, especially when I leave the gym in the afternoon, because here in Florida it's extra warm, extra humid. And I went to Aratiza, I guess that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure. Their pants, they don't fit me because I have a little bit too much badunkadunk. So the pants, well, I did buy a pair of jeans, but the work pants, they don't work for me. You know, the waist is too big, but it's too tight in the buttocks area, so yeah. I bought this shirt. Oh, I hope you guys can see that. So, and I'm trying to do this vlogging thing. It's really new, so bear with me. Stick around. It will get better. You know, practice makes perfect. And that's what we're gonna do here. We're not stopping. I'm not stopping. Well, I don't know what collection. This is just from the Aritzia. I don't know how to pronounce it. You all let me know. So I bought this shirt here. It's really cute. It's form-fitting and shows off my figure, which at my age, you know, when you're younger and you don't realize what great shape you're in when you're younger. Then you get older and you realize, wow, you know what? I could have worn that bathing suit or that particular dress style. What was I thinking? Being older, my mindset has changed, and especially because I'm older, I am definitely going to wear the outfit. So I just bought these jeans here. So just some regular jeans. And they fit, you know, they're supposed to fit baggy, but they are a little snug, like I said, in the hip area. And that's fine. I have a belt, I'll just put the belt on. I also bought, I went to Lush. I love they have shower balls. What are these things called? I should know because I buy them all the time. And of course, the name isn't on here, but it is, I want to say shower oil. That's what it is. My goodness, what's going on here? I love this. And it smells so good. This is the lemon scent. So, but the oil bar, the shower oil bar, I highly recommend it. Because I put it up mostly on my lower body to try to keep the skin tight and, moisturize. I feel like the more moisturized the skin is, the less it'll sag. So I put it on my lower body and also the back of my arms. I mean, like, I don't know how well that works, but that is what I'm doing. And I also stopped by Sephora because I needed to replace lip gloss, which is from NARS, and it is the Dolce Vita. I love this particular, they call it a lip balm, but I call it lip gloss because it does add a little sheen to your lips. Wow, why can I get this open? So this is so, I love this color, and I'll show you what I have because I do not believe in just wasting money just to be wasting money. Times are too hard and we don't know what may happen in the future. So as you can see here, you see that? That is it. I use this, I love this, okay? So yes, this is an empty. I didn't just spend money just to be spending money. And I also bought the Tatcha, the liquid silk canvas, which is a primer. I have even at my age, I still have very oily skin. I used to complain about having oily skin because I had acne. I had really, really bad acne in my 20s. Fast forward 30 years ahead, and the science behind skincare is just so much better. Like, this really does help keep the oil control. Now, it doesn't last all day, but at least I have like 2 or 3 hours of a matte skin tone, So I really, really like this. And again, I am not sponsored by anyone. Yeah, not sponsored by anyone. So I just wanted to share that with you all. And I will see you all later. Well, in the last clip, I mentioned how the lady at church, after the pastor had preached about we can't be tired during this time with everything that's going on in the country, around the world, how we have to persevere. Now is not the time to be tired. She asked me how I was doing. It was after my first week of working, and I described everything, the reasons why I was so tired. And she said, "Oh, you're not tired. The pastor just preached, you're not tired." And I kind of felt like that invalidated my feelings. Now, I know her heart was in the right place when she stated that, but I was tired because I'd been dealing with rush hour traffic, starting a new job, starting a new routine, and I was actually coming down with something. I don't know if it was, anyway, I explained it. I don't know if it was a cold, if it was allergies or whatever. My body was run down. And I don't understand why people take the Bible literally. Like, what other woman has had a baby at 80 years old? Now, I know a few years ago in the news, there were a couple of ladies. I think there was one lady that was reported to have had a baby in her 70s. The lady in the Bible, Sarah, is 90. I have a friend, she actually believes that this woman had a baby at 90 years old. And for me, anyway, you cannot take the Bible literally. That's just me. Also, God has made us imperfect, right? If we were supposed to be these perfect human beings, that's how God would have made us, right? I think it just adds more stress to your life, or more stress to a person's life, when they try to live their life like Jesus Christ. I hope that is not blasphemous, because I really hope you guys don't take that in the wrong way. But
Like I said, if we were supposed to be perfect human beings, we would have been made to be perfect and to not commit any sins, right? I'll never forget, and this was about 30 years ago, a coworker, we were having a conversation and she was, deep into the church and, trying to be the best Christian that she could be. And she was struggling with having sexual desires. And we're in our 20s. You are going to desire sex because you are a human being. That is how we look. If you don't desire sex, then how are we gonna have babies? How are we gonna keep the population growing if people don't desire sex? But she was so conflicted with that. The girl was on the brink of tears. And maybe that was a pivotal moment in my life. Seeing this young woman so stressed out about desiring sex because of her religion. And I think that's just crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the People's Church because I really like the church. I really like the pastor. I'm not taking everything 100% literal because that is just not how the world works. Anyway, I'll keep it at that. With that said, let's have respectful dialogue in the comments section. Tell me what you guys think. And with that, I'm going to close out this week's vlog. Really, whoever makes it to the end of these vlogs, I know they are not the most interesting. My editing has gotten a lot better. We can't argue that, right? But I appreciate you staying to the end. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button.